Yo, what's going on guys, FaZe here, and this is a little bit of a different video. I did this video before, like, I think a couple months back when I was in Obey, but this is going to be a class setup video. I'm going to be giving you guys my class setups on Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and Ghost. Those are the CODs that I play the most, and I'm just going to be giving you guys my respawn class. I'm not going to give you guys a Search and Destroy class like I did in my last one. And by the way, the only reason that I'm doing this video is because I get a lot of tweets and comments asking for a class setup video, even though I've already done one. But this is just another class setup video. I hope you guys use them, and I hope they're useful to you guys. Alright, so let's get right into the class setup. So, when I play Respawn in Black Ops 1, I use a AK-74U as a primary. It doesn't really matter what primary you use in this game, but I use an AK-74U. I just think it looks cool. For my secondary, I use a ballistic knife. Then I have a tomahawk for my lethal, a concussion for my tactical, and attack insertion for my equipment. Now here I use scavenger because I obviously want to pick up my tomahawks instead of actually pressing X and picking them up that way. Obviously you guys can do that and use lightweight if you want to, but I would suggest scavenger just because it's a little easier to get tomahawk feeds or skewer feeds or whatever you're going for in this game. And from perk 2 I use warlord just because it gives you 2 tomahawks and 3 concussions. I don't think there's any other perks for your perk 2 that gives you a bigger advantage than warlord, so I would definitely suggest using warlord. And for my third perk I use marathon, mainly because when you're a knifer you're gonna have to run a lot, and that's pretty important to you, so yeah, I would definitely use marathon. Alright, so that's it for my class setup on Black Ops 1. I'm going to hop on Black Ops 2, show you my class setup there. Alright, so we are back on Black Ops 2, so I'm going to show you guys my class setup here. So here I use lightweight as my perk 1. For my perk 2 I use fast hands and scavenger. So you guys are going to have to put on perk 2 greed to have 2 perk 2s. So yeah, you guys are definitely going to want to do that. And for my perk 3, this is the only perk that you could exchange a little bit. Obviously for the other perks, they're kind of mandatory, but for this perk, you could either use dexterity, extreme conditioning, or tactical mask. Personally, I use tac mask mainly because I use concussion, and when you use concussions, you can stun yourself easily. It also protects you from other people's stuns and shock charges, which is really helpful. So that's why I use tac mask. And for my lethals, I obviously use a combat axe, and to get 2 of them, you're gonna have to use danger close. So put on danger close, click on this, and you should be able to get 2 tomahawks. And for my secondary, I use a ballistic knife. You guys are probably going to want to use this. This is my favorite knifing weapon. Obviously, there's a combat knife and a tac knife, but I think the ballistic knife is better than all of them. So if I were you guys, I would definitely use a ballistic knife. And yeah, that's really it for my class setup on Black Ops 2. I'm going to hop on Ghost and show you my class setup on that game. So yeah. Alright, so we are back on Ghost. So here's my knifing class for Ghost. So I start off with the primary as a combat knife, and for my secondary I have a Magnum tac knife. I'm 99% sure that this is the fastest tac knife you could use, so if you're going to use a tac knife, definitely use a Magnum. And for my lethal, I have a throwing knife, obviously, and then I have a concussion for my tactical. And for my perks, I use agility, marathon, reflex, extra tactical, and extra lethal. Agility is basically like lightweight. I use agility and marathon. They go hand in hand just because when you're a knifer, you gotta run around the map a lot. Most of the time, you have to be within a really close range of the enemy if you're gonna knife them. And I use reflex for the sole reason of throwing my throwing knife and concussion a lot faster. If you don't have reflex on, you're probably going to throw them like really slow, so if you're feeding, you're probably going to need reflex on to throw your throwing knife really fast. So yeah, you're definitely going to want reflex. And they use extra lethal and extra tactical because obviously it gives you an extra lethal and extra tactical, so there's no explanation there. And here for my strike package, I use scavenger, off the grid, and incog. And these 3 perks are pretty important. Whatever I have after the specialist isn't really that important, but obviously you guys can copy them anyways. Let me show you what they are. So I have ready up, takedown, blind eye, dead silence, resilience, and gambler. So yeah, that's basically my class setups on Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and Ghost. If they helped you out, definitely make sure to leave a like. It definitely helps me out a lot. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.